folks. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of a ride today. I have to go to the store and pick up a few things. But on the way going there, I'm going to discuss why I decided on retiring at the age of 62. So, let's give it a look. Now, I realize that this is a pretty popular topic right now that's been all over YouTube. People retiring as early as they can. So one of the earliest ages for most people for Social Security is at the age of 62. Now, I'm not going to get into the mathematics behind all this, and I'm far from being a pro when it comes to this stuff, but I'm going to tell you folks why I came up with this decision. And again, what works for me may not work for you. And we could see on our drive now, me going to the store, that it's a pretty rainy day. It's been raining here quite a bit lately, but the temperatures have really started cooling off this week. So, why did I decide on retiring at 62? Well, first, I'm going to let you folks know that I just reached 62 in July. Now, they give you a period of about 2 months that you have to wait before you draw your first Social Security retirement check. So mine's going to be in the middle of September. Now, I do realize at the age of 62, we're not going to get the max amount when it comes to retirement. But a lot of times, the situation that you're in, what you're going to get at 62 may be enough. Because also, the older we get, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So if somebody decides to wait to 67, but they never live longer than 64, well then the government is going to keep all your money and nobody else is going to get that. Now I know it is different for spouses and people that are married. So I want to make sure with all the years that I've worked that I at least get something before the day that the good Lord calls me. But here's the biggest reason. The biggest reason is getting a job today is very, very annoying. It's not like 30, 40 years ago where you walk in, you shake hands with the manager or the CEO, you sit down, they ask you a few questions, and if they like you, they're going to tell you to start Monday. Today, there's so much that you have to go through to land a $10 an hour job. Now, what I've been doing lately is being a subcontractor, 1099 worker, and I work for clients that are big retail agents. So I'm a customer service rep, or I do technical support. But lately, those jobs have been few and far in between, to the point where I have not drawn a pay in the last 5 months. Now, I also live alone. I have no family nearby. Most of my close family members actually passed away over the last 10 years, so on. And I also live 900 miles away from my original hometown. So if I'm flat broke and my tongue's hanging out, there's nowhere that I could turn. Now, about a year ago, it's going to be a year in the end of September, the area that I live in got drastically hit by Hurricane Helene. I'm sure all you folks heard about it. In some areas, even worse than the area that I live in. But the area that I lived in, we didn't have power or internet for about 2 weeks. But what does this have to do with my retirement plan? Well, the thing is shortly after my power did get turned back on and the internet, a lovely email came in from my company saying that I was removed from the project. They did not say a reason why. Now, my kind of work is all judged on metrics, which is a real poor system. So I'm not really sure why I was let go, and I was with this client for 1 year. The job market today in America is not what it used to be. It's far from it, where companies actually really put a lot of pride and energy into their workforce. They used to give us pensions. They used to give us 100% paid health coverage. That's right. Like you would still have to pay, a small deductible. Sometimes the company actually paid the deductible for you. But they would pay 100% of the premiums usually, where all you had to pay was a small co-payment each time you went to a doctor's office. This is why lately people jump from companies to companies and job to job. Years ago, people would stay at the same job for 40, 50 years. It's not like that today. The work culture since the late 90s really went way downhill. And now they check your credit score. They check your criminal record. They check you have to urinate in a cup. Excuse my language. All this to make $10 or whatever an hour. And I also believe that there's age discrimination going on when you reach a certain age in life. And I would say that this is about age 55 and above. Because when I was younger, I could land one of these work from home jobs in a heartbeat because of my experience and my resume. But today it doesn't matter because the world has changed so much with technology. So they're always going to take a 30-year-old with 6 years of college over somebody who's 62 years old with a high school diploma. When I was younger, a lot of people didn't go to college like the kids do today. And you want to hear a real big kicker. I found out that 60% of the jobs that are advertised on the internet, on Career Builder, on Indeed, are actually not hiring at that time. 60%. So now you're applying to a job, right? They might only need 1, 2, or 3 people, but they're getting 2,000 resumes. What's the odds that they're going to pick good old Ray at age 62 with a high school diploma? It's not like I'm looking for a job making 6 figures or more a year. So what I understand, the reason why they keep the ads running, these companies, is to make themselves look very good to the public. Wow, this company must be awesome to work for because they're always looking for people. They must be really busy. Or what they're doing is collecting data from all of us. So in case if they ever have to hire again, they already got some of this information. So you might as well get your resume and just throw it in a hole in the ground. So like I said, I've been applying to jobs lately every day. I applied to at least 4 jobs. I have not gotten a positive word back in months. The only few emails I did get was saying, unfortunately at this time we decided to move on with other candidates. Yeah, the 30-year-old with the 6-year college degree. So what I'm getting at, folks, is I'm done with these games. I'm done with this work thing. I'm just sick of it. Now, I'm always going to be looking for a side gig under my terms now because I'm going to be retiring. But here's the big ace in my pocket that I have going for me. The reason why I decided to retire at age 62, even though I live alone in a 1,500 square foot brick home. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have to pay rent. I don't have to make $5,000 a month. Would I like to make $5,000? Sure. But I don't need to. I don't even need to make $2,500 a month. My electric bill last month was less than $60. I'm what they call a minimalist. Ever since I got old, things don't impress me anymore. Automobiles, things like that. I don't care. As long as I got a car to get me from point A to point B, that's all I care about. I think total I'm like a couple of grand in debt. That's it. For a guy 62. And that's the reason why between me having free rent, a nice home on almost 1 acre of beautiful property with mountains in the background is the reason why I decided to retire at 62. And again, not dealing with this silly workforce any longer. So anyways, folks, that's about what I had to discuss in today's video. I hope you found it somewhat informative. Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And before my neighbor runs through my house with his lawnmower and runs me over, I'm going to get going. So until the next time, you folks have yourself a fantastic day.